It's Ramsey Dewey over here in Shanghai, China, with Michael today to demonstrate some boxing drills to help your defense and offense. All right, I do these almost every day that I teach boxing classes. And here's the first one, practicing catching the punches, very similar to catching a focus mitt. So Michael's gonna throw a jab, and I'm gonna slap it with my fist. But he's gonna throw his 1-2 here, 1-2. Again, 1-2, 1-2. So what I'm doing, I'm slapping it. He's not punching in my hands. If my hands weren't here, he would, boom, boom, hit me right in the face. Okay, so he's aiming for my chin. And I am blocking with my palm. So we're gonna trade this. The footwork is also very important. When I attack, I'm gonna step in, falling step, boom, right hand. When I retreat, I'm gonna step back. He's gonna do the same thing. All right. So 1-2, catch, catch, 1-2, and you can move around as if you're sparring. Get used to that type of movement. All right. When you can start out soft. When you get used to the movement, you can put some pepper on it, put some power behind those shots. Start increasing the speed as you get more comfortable with it. So I usually do this for about 2 minutes, and then we'll move on to the next drill, which is parrying the punches. When we parry, the hands are going to stay up at this level. Don't bring the hands down, right? So if he throws a jab, I'm going to swat it out of the way. So I'm not stopping it, I'm redirecting it. If I don't parry, he's going to hit me right in the face. Boom. Okay? Which I don't want. So he's going to throw his 1-2, and I'm going to parry. Notice my footwork. It's just little slide, little step. Okay? 1-2. And I'm moving out of the way as I move his hands out of the way. Now I fire back. 1-2, and he's going to parry. Right, we're going to start slow till we get used to it, and then we can speed up. So again, just using the palm of the hand to redirect. Keeping the wrists vertical, right? And we're going to do this for about 2 minutes, just moving around like we're sparring. So we get used to keeping this guard up in an intelligent way. So we get used to the space, the movement, right? How far away we need to be to defend or to hit. The next movement I like to practice is covering up. And this might seem easy, but a lot of people still get it wrong. If my glove wasn't on, what I'm doing is grabbing my forehead very tightly, okay? Because I don't want any space in between. If there's space between my fist and my face and he punches my fist, boom, it's gonna hit me in the chin. You can get knocked out this way. I have been knocked out this way. I kid you not, my first pro Muay Thai fight. I went in there against an aggressive fighter, throwing some bombs, and I brought my guard up like this, and he threw a heavy right hook into my hand, boom, bink, right on my chin, down I went. I'm gonna put that up on the screen so you can see. It was embarrassing, and I do have a video of it. But I learned a valuable lesson, and that's what matters. So instead of having the hands floating up here, we're gonna grab the forehead tightly. So now when Michael throws his 1-2, boom, boom, okay? Now it's gonna be absorbed by my forearms. I'm gonna do the same thing, 1-2, and you might notice there's a little bit of space between the arms, a little bit. Okay, so I can see what's going on. And I've heard a lot of people say, well, without boxing gloves, this technique would never work because you got those big old pillows on your hands to absorb the shock. No, you're absorbing it with your forearms, not with the padding on the gloves. So again, boom, boom. Same basic footwork in when we attack, out when we're done. Right. Moving like we're sparring, trying to find angles. Do that for about 2 minutes. Right, and make sure that you're absorbing it on the forearms and not in your head. If you're feeling the force going into your brain, you're doing something wrong. If you feel your hands slapping yourself in the chin, you're doing something wrong. All right. Next, I'd like to train the Philly shell. Here, let's switch sides. Okay. Philly shell, I'm going to move into a side stance. All right, lead arm is down here. My backhand can be up here. It can be here. It can be here. Make this a crab guard if I really want to. And there are a few things I can do with this. Here, throw that 1-2 again. I can roll both of them off my shoulder. Go ahead. Okay, again. Now, make sure you're not aiming for the shoulder. Aim for the chin. But we're going to bring that pesky shoulder in the way so he can't hit the chin. And I won't just hold it there, because if I hold it, hit it. Ow! Again. Ow! I want to move it. I'm rolling. So there's a hip action right here, starting from my feet. So here, punch, go ahead. You can punch hard, that's okay. Yeah, so I'm rolling it off of me instead of absorbing it, okay? So we can practice rolling with the punches. 1, 2, right, and you go, 1, 2, right, 1, 2, 1, 2. And there are more things we can do. We can parry that first jab and then roll the cross. Here, go ahead, 1, 2. So 1, 2, jab, straight, again, jab, straight. So it's that same parry we practiced before. Again, jab, straight. What if he follows with a left hook? Here, do that. 1, 2, 3. Right, again, 1, 2, 3, parry, roll, block, again, 1, 2, 3, right. Now you parry, roll, block, right, and now you go, right, and there we go. Or we can practice head movement, right. So it's a really simple movement right there. If he's throwing his 1, 2, instead of eating that on my shoulder, I'm just gonna bow down, hinging at the hip right there. So throw your 1, 2, 3, and then up, and I can counter, right? And he can do the same thing, 1, 2, 3, and he's already under it, right? So go back and forth doing that. What else can we do? Ooh, here's another one I like to do. Go back to the parrying and the hand fighting. Here, throw your jab, parry, and counter, right? It's a circular motion, come over the top. Make sure to keep this hand in parry, counter. Where he throws the 1, 2, right? So now we'll do the same. Start really slow. Parry that, and counter. So it's a circular motion. Make sure to step in. You might think, I don't have any power in my arm. Correct. That's called arm punching. It's bad technique. The power comes from your leg, from that right leg. So as I turn this and I step in, boom, that's where the power comes in, from your leg, your hip, your foot. Okay? So if I parry the jab and counter, the power comes from here. If I parry the cross, boom, the power comes from there, from my left leg. If he throws the 1, 2, and I parry, step, counter, the power is coming from here. And he can do the same thing. I'm going to throw the 1, 2, 1, 2, parry, counter, right? You go 1, 2, parry, parry, counter, right? You go parry, parry, counter, right? You can move through these motions, right? Start slow and then build up speed. The next one, slipping the punches. Here, throw a 1, 2 at my head. We can slip one at a time, and that's just twist, twist. I'm not leaning. I mean, you can, but if you start doing boxing for other combat sports, kickboxing or MMA, this is bad. That'll get you knocked out with a head kick. So instead, twist, twist, right? If you're bobbing and weaving, also for MMA, a lot of people say you can't do that. You can, just don't go below shoulder level. So I can bob and weave around here. If he's throwing a head level strike, you know, I can bob and weave shoulder level. In boxing, we can get really, really low, ridiculously low, right? But yeah, in MMA, not so much, because knees are a thing, takedowns are a thing, sprawling is a thing, okay? Now, we can slip one after the other, or slip both punches on one side, slip to the lead, slip both punches to the rear. So again, throw your 1, 2. I can slip both to the lead, throw your 1, 2. I can slip both to the rear, throw your 1, 2. I can slip both one at a time if I'm fast enough or he's slow enough. But we're going to do this as a drill. I'll throw the 1, 2, you slip, and then you throw the 1, 2, I slip. Ready? Slip, slip. Right, and now me. Okay. And it's always a good idea to keep those hands up by the chin, just in case you get clipped on the chin. So notice my guard, it's a peekaboo guard right here, peekaboo stance. Right, weight forward on the lead leg, makes it easier to slip, makes it easier to bob and weave, makes it easier to get low. Okay, so again, slip, right, and now you. Okay, now I also like to practice footwork in here as well, so we can add slip steps. So if he throws his 1, 2, I can slip step to the lead, or throw the 1, 2, I can slip step to the rear. Okay, here's the footwork. Basic rock step pivot, like we're setting up a check hook here. Again, boom, boom. That's a slip step to the lead. Boom, check hook. Or slip step to the rear. I'm going to slip step across the body here, like this. This is probably the only time I would ever make a step like this in boxing. So what I'm going to do next is pivot onto his side. So he comes in with the 1, 2, slip step, boom. Here, let's do that from another angle. You're right here. Again, slip step, boom. So it's a little twist with the head along with that step to change my position there. So we're gonna throw the 1-2, and you can slip step to the lead or to the rear here. Here you go first. And now I'll go. Okay, now you go. And I'll go. Right.
Sorry.
Again, it's gonna take some practice here. Again, you go. And I go. You go. And I go. Yeah. Now, as far as slipping goes, it's very important. React to the body, not the hands. If you're watching the hands, they'll hit you, most likely. If you react to the body, move before the punches come to you, then you're moving at the right time. So, defensive drills like that, 2 minutes at a time, that'll take what, 10, 15 minutes, depending on how many you do in the day. And I find it's a really great way to train fighters to keep their hands in the right place and to start moving, blocking, parrying, stopping, trapping, doing all of this stuff when they start sparring without thinking about it. Because if you rep this stuff out hundreds of times, here you throw the 1-2, boom, and then maybe we'll do a round where you can defend however you want, right? It doesn't have to be that one thing. It can be anything, right? You throw the 1-2. So essentially what we've done here is turn-based sparring at this point, right? So then when we start translating this into real sparring, where we're not taking turns, now these movements will start to come out automatically without having to think about it. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Now get out there and train.